Yeah.
I told you not to use the goddamn tape. No, use the tape! Get out of my way! Now stay out of my face! Get out of my face! Out of here! Now! Get out!
My life is a bore with a shark. I'm still Scott from the block. I've got as much hair as a rock. I bought a new house, I got no place to smoke. I'm as exciting as a sock. I'm still Scott from the block. I smoke and smoke and smoke around the clock. Before Christmas comes, I'm probably gonna croak. Every day is dull, nothing is rolling. My weekend consists of smoking and bowling. I pound my head against the wall. I'm a loser's loser, I'm balder than balls. I scream at all the interns. Get out of here, I'm a miserable son of a bee. I have no answers, I probably have cancer. When I talk, I put people to sleep. My whole existence is a clock. I'm still Scott from the block. I should buy a cemetery plot. I hardly breathe because my lungs are shot. I'm never gonna be a big shot. I'm still Scott from the block. Every year my birthday gets forgot by Howard and Robin and everybody else. I haven't got piss, nothing to my name. When I leave a party, no one knows I came. I have the kind of face everyone forgets. The only friend I have is a pack of cigarettes. I've got a crappy house, I've got a crappy car, and the worst luck that you've seen. My poor wife, she wonders why she married a skinhead schmuck like me. I've got all the charm of a box. I'm still Scott from the block. I've got as much hair as a rock. The tar in my lungs could fill up a crock pot. I'm as exciting as a sock. I'm still Scott from the block. I smoke and smoke and smoke around the clock. Before Christmas comes, I'll probably die of cancer.
You blew the whistle once! If it wasn't a push-up, you would have blown it more! That's all I gotta say!
Should have seen him when he handed me the song. He goes, "Here's my song." Told me he's going to quit smoking again.
Oh, sure.
Song from cigarettes.
I don't know how he's going to do it because he smokes.
Well, he's still
Constantly.
Scott. He's still Scott from the block, and you should know that.
The personality of a sock.
Bald as a rock. I like that.
I'm bald as a rock. I'm still Scott from the block. Ugh.
Good stuff.
Let's return to the Howard Stern Show.
Oh, my. I see Mr. Clock on the wall is moving along briskly here.
Oh, my.
Mr. Clock moving very fast, Robin.
Hit me away. Tick-tock.
Barely time for anything. Show filled with nonsense, and the nonsense takes all morning, forever.
Oh, my.
Back from Los Angeles, a lot of hijinks out there. Couldn't have lasted another day out there. The whole place would have blown up. Really blew apart the town. Really did.
Yes.
Yes,
Turned it on its
Turned it on its ass. And it's here.
That's the statement
Whatever.
I was making.
A lot of hijinks out there that I haven't even told you about. You know, Scott the engineer was out there, who did a great job. He did a good job.
He had hijinks?
Yeah, well, he had hijinks because everyone was goofy. You know, whenever we travel with Scott, like a lot of the guys goof on him and stuff. So I think it was, the way I heard the story was, hey, Scott, come on in here, pal of mine. I'll give you a nice plug because you did a good job out there. Because he was on his own.
Flying solo.
I don't know if it's the bald head or just the sad sack way, but it's just fun to goof on Scott.
The whole package.
I mean, he is the more goof on. Do you see yourself as a sad sack?
No.
Do you see yourself as a sad sack? I mean, even with your cigarettes, how you have to get off the plane and light up the second you get off, and you're so addicted.
No, not at all.
Maybe it's the way you talk. It's like,
He's like wimpy.
yeah, no, not at all. I mean, I love Scott. Don't get me wrong. It's
I do
just,
too. It's just that that's his demeanor.
yeah.
Smile.
And even when things are like going right for him,
It's not right.
it's like, you know, when we got him to, you know, he was always complaining about money when we met him. We all gave him money. We gave him money.
About money.
And we let him, you know, set up a whole disco business. And even when it was going good, it was like, well, I gotta invest the money back into the business.
I'm not really making any cash.
We gotta buy a record.
Put it back in the inventory.
Wouldn't be fun without complaining.
Right. Wouldn't be fun
And then
without
when he has to do
complaining.
the gigs, I gotta lug the equipment.
I got a bad back.
And then I try to get these interns to work for me and lug the equipment.
And they don't do it to my
Pay a
son.
guy and he still doesn't pack the car right.
I mean, there's always something wrong.
Drop my turntable.
It's always a problem. So anyway, so the guys got to travel. We very rarely see Scott outside of the radio station.
Sure.
It's very rare that we all get together, and in some form in Los Angeles we were together because a lot of the guys ate together and stuff. So it turns out, I think it was Fred,
Right.
Jackie,
Yes.
Stuttering John, Scott the engineer,
Grillo.
and
With Gary.
Kathy Tobin all went to dinner together.
Okay.
I don't know what night this was.
This must have been after the Tonight Show. I remember.
Right after tonight's show.
All right, yeah, they all went to
Everybody
dinner.
was grouping up.
Yeah. I guess you went back to your room like I did.
I didn't have any sleep that day.
Right, so you went back. Had you slept at all in the
I
afternoon?
slept about 90 minutes.
I see.
Nobody slept.
Well, you certainly had a good laugh at the Tonight Show. That had to put you in a better
That woke me up.
Pat?
I wasn't sleepy then.
No. Even the sleepiest person in the audience was awake for that.
She was charged.
Didn't put anyone to bed.
That's how I knew it was good entertainment. I was
Yeah.
dead, and I stayed awake for that whole thing.
Yeah. Oh, how could you not? So, anyway, Scott the engineer was out to dinner after the Triumphant Tonight Show appearance, and everyone was having dinner. So they went to a steakhouse, and Scott ordered a big porterhouse steak, is it?
Porterhouse.
Yeah, porterhouse steak. So
Charred like my lungs.
he ordered, because Scott has everything that's cancerous.
That's right, and cholesterol.
Come on, I wasn't the only one that had steak. It was a steakhouse, first of all.
And he had big cigarettes, too, I bet.
Excuse me, I have to go to the humidor.
Humidor.
What was that, Scott's big joke?
Excuse me, but I have to go to the humidor.
Is that what he kept saying all dinner?
When he wanted to go get a cigarette.
Any humor?
Yeah. Get it?
Come on, Jackie, you stole that for your act.
I go to the humidor to see if someone will give me a sense of humor.
Exactly. Obviously nothing.
I'll be
What
back.
do you find behind the humidor?
It was empty.
Why was he saying humidor? Because he had to go smoke?
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
no.
birthday, so I told him to go, do something about her birthday, get a candle or something like that. So he had to make an excuse. So that was his excuse.
But he
when
went
he got back, I went to look for the humidor.
Well, to look at the humidor.
Nobody knew it was a joke.
Was Scott smoking at the dinner table?
No.
No, I respected the wishes of others.
But he would always come back with a little puff of smoke on the exhale.
But
It's
he
just that sound.
smoked right up to the door when we
Oh,
walked.
did he?
Put it
Did you
out.
guys discuss with him ahead of time that you didn't want smoking at the table?
No, you're
Well,
not allowed.
as we walked
No
in, we
smoking.
said, we want a non-smoking section, even, and the guy said, don't be silly, there's no smoking anymore.
Right,
Oh.
not in L.A.
Rat.
Restaurant. But was he smoking in the car?
No.
Well, it was right next door to the hotel. We went to Morton's, so
Oh,
he just
If I can't smoke, I'll eat meat that produces carcinogens. I don't
Make
want.
sure the steak is extra hot so it's smoking as I eat it.
I can inhale the fumes.
Better grease.
I need more grease.
Bring me a lobster that's on
I
fire.
want to clog my arteries even more.
Please do not remove the fat.
Please, extra fat, if you will.
Matter of fact, the only thing at this point that could cheer me up is fatal cancer.
More drippings. So anyway,
Carcinogens, the better.
Give me the heart attack special.
so anyway, they go to dinner, right? And everyone's sitting there, and Scott orders his big, juicy steak.
Yes, his big porterhouse.
So John gets the waitress and whispers to the waitress, "Do me a favor. When you bring the food, don't bring that guy's food. Say you forgot the food."
say, are you ready to order?
Right.
Yeah, and then when he comes in, and then when Scott was looking for his food, she'll say, "You didn't order." And he'll go, "Are you ready to order?" That's what her line was. So she says she'll go along with it.
But it was great. Everybody.
Did you know they did this to you?
No.
He was out doing a good deed.
Yeah. I was out setting up,
Oh, you were out getting. So,
Yeah, he
do you
was
know
setting
now?
up the first
Are you hearing about this for the first time now?
No, I know about it. 'Cause,
Right. So anyways, listen to this. So he. All right. So finally, you know how long it
Because I
takes
don't
to
know
get dinner.
something else. I mean,
So finally he goes to get. So they serve dinner, and everyone's. Jackie, what did you have?
But I had a huge porterhouse, and Ratso was with us. And
Yeah.
Ratso had filet mignon,
Right.
and Kathy had Sam. John had a 3-pound lobster. Everybody had ordered these big things, and Scott ordered a big porterhouse, and she was great.
Yeah. What did she say?
She came over and gave everybody their main courses.
And he's sitting there
all
licking
this
his chops.
food on the table. She gets all the way around him and goes, "Well, are you ready to order now?" And he's like,
What? What are you talking about?
I don't
I ordered what everyone else ordered.
Is that what he said? Give me an impression of what he said.
What's going on here?
He started off a little bit more low key.
Was he like a rabid dog?
Oh, he started getting
He
pretty
wrapped himself
upset.
up.
He turned to me at one point.
I own a dinner, right?
And I go, I really didn't pay attention.
No. We all went along with it
And he
pretty
looks
well.
at Jack and he goes,
Come on, tell her that I want a dinner. You tell her that I want a dinner.
Then when I looked around the table and realized John was sitting at the table, that's when I knew.
Yes, I heard you didn't know.
While.
He didn't know. He didn't know anything.
What happened was he said, I want to put a house, and he reordered it, and she walked away. And he was upset, and then a few minutes later,
'Cause now he's thinking,
he saw her walk, because then she came walking over and put it in front of him.
I knew before that.
Oh,
I had knew.
I
I had knew before that.
My phone is like a magic 8-ball. I can predict the future.
He didn't know anything.
There was time enough that he was watching.
Right.
He was watching Mead and John eat.
You know what's great about that? Because when you get there, you're so hungry, and now all of a sudden, all the people you wanted to eat with are all going to be eating, and you're going to get your food after they're done, and they're going to want you
be in a hurry.
eat.
And they're going to want to leave.
You were bumming out heavily.
They do the worst thing to me because I hate when that happens.
Oh, yeah.
When people get their food and you get yours last, you know, there's a mistake or something, or you got to send your food back. It's like, I don't even want to eat anymore.
See,
you know?
what went through his head is maybe John had grabbed the waitress and said, you know what, that guy that just left, you know, it canceled his order because he changed his mind. Or
Right.
something. So it might have
So it
been
could have been worse.
He knew there was something going on.
Yeah.
But, you know.
But the thing with Scott is that he always has that attitude of, why does this always happen to me? Nobody but me.
Why me? I'm tired of being the jackass.
That was
You know what it is? It's
I
not,
wish I had been there for that.
it's not, can we play a practical joke? Who can we do it on? It was like, what can we do to Scott?
Thanks.
Not even an option.
Go for 3 days.
Were you really pissed?
No, I wasn't pissed.
Oh,
I was just annoyed. You know, it was like, you know.
Yeah, you were
It was like I was so tired and I was
There's
sitting
very
there
little
going,
difference between annoyed and pissed.
No.
What is this?
No. There was a combination of being hungry and tired and like,
And then
for a second I thought, maybe I didn't order the food, you know?
I don't remember. I don't recall. I got nicotine Alzheimer's. I dreamed it.
So, like, you, and like, how long did they make you wait for the food?
No, it was like
He came right
3
back.
minutes.
Yeah, right.
yeah, it wasn't long at all.
It was plenty long.
Long enough to get you steamed.
Head was red.
So he was pretty
Then all he
angry.
could talk about was how his food hadn't come.
I mean, he was looking at me and
I know they ordered this food. Jackie, you saw me order the food.
And then meanwhile, Jackie's sitting there eating his porterhouse.
yeah, and Jackie was good because he just kept, I really don't know. Everybody kept,
I mean, I don't know.
nobody overacted. It was great.
You know what it was? Because we all had our food in front of us. So
Yeah.
we didn't have to sit around and act. It was like we just totally ignored him and started noshing. He was like drooling.
You mean you're not going to share that?
I was going to ask Jackie.
I wish I'd been there for that.
Yeah, Jackie could have. He was a gentleman.
Cut his in half, and then when mine
Here,
came,
take my porterhouse.
Jackie ain't giving nobody anything. Trust me.
especially those oysters he ordered.
Oh, did he have oysters?
Oh, yeah, who's paying for it? Hey, I'm not paying.
Oh.
Per diem. All right. Jackie was Mr. Sport out there.
Oh, was he?
You know, he got to know everybody in the restaurant. He was only there 2 days. The next thing I know, he's like, give me the usual.
Usual. How do you have a usual in 2 days?
We did.
He does.
What was the usual?
Give me the usual, Oscar.
Steak and eggs.
Bring it over.
Did you have any steak and eggs?
We took Miss Quivers to breakfast the second day, and there was nobody in the restaurant except us. So it was like, give us our regular table.
And what did you have? Steak and eggs?
I had steak and eggs, and Laura said steak and eggs.
3 sunny side up, please.
It usually comes with 2. If you want a 3.
Oh, my God, you're such a pig. What was that? Is it because the radio station was paying for it? Right. He would never even order
Otherwise, I would never have 3 eggs.
You wouldn't.
Such a jerk.
Steak and eggs. He's got a
Steak and eggs.
steak and 3.
And you had steak the night before.
Otherwise, he has a McMuffin every day.
Jackie, you had steak the night before and you had to have steak for breakfast?
Norris and I were having steak and eggs. That's what we were having.
Why does Nora have to come into it? We're talking about you. I have to have it. Like elephants, trunk to tail.
Steak and egg.
Good.
So then I guess since you have to have what Fred has, you can make the same salary as him.
Yes.
Right.
That's not fair.
These two guys argue over salary. I'm still not sure who makes more.
But that was funny. Yeah, the steak and eggs. 3 gushy sunny side up.
Oh,
we had a nice time.
Yellow running all over.
It up.
Yellow running all over the steak.
It usually drips down his chin.
Yeah.
He always gets it on his chin. Always.
Oh.
He always wears his food.
Riding down on the plane. I don't know how he got it, but it's like he got like 3 stains. Am I lying? Am I lying?
Good 3 stains on what?
Looked like a big chocolate stain down by his belly.
I think that was our Hot Fudge Sundays that were running out.
But there was like, and he goes, I don't know how this happened.
It happens because you're so busy shoveling it in. He's in a coma.
But it's funny. It's this guy in first class.
You were drunk.
I'm surprised Jackie didn't go up and move his bowels onto a tray.
I didn't see the stains. It looked like a Pollock painting.
Oh, yeah? I wish I had been there for the torture of Scott, though. I missed it.
You don't like to hang out with us?
We'll do it again.
I don't. You're right. We'll do it again. If I knew that was going on, I might have.
That would have been worth the trip.
Should have clued you in.
All right. I wasn't in on that practical joke. I think he must have been Steve when a big fat guy gets mad about his food.
And everybody's got their head down. I live in a porterhouse. Sitting and seething.
Jackie, you heard me. I live in a porterhouse, right? No, I did. And what else did I order?
You gotta expect these things, you know.
It must have been fun.
It didn't come as a real surprise.
I'll have another vodka and cranberry sauce. What? Where's my steak?
Scott finally gets waited on. The waitresses goofing on him.
Well, they're all actresses anyway. So
right.
She did a good job.
Was she cute?
She was.
Yeah. She was
very cute.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Scott has to say she's ugly.
She was just all right.
His wife would get mad.
Courtney Cox, but she was okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
You know, Scott hangs around with such gorgeous women.
She was beautiful.
I was just ordering dinner for her. What good is it going to do me? But I think she's good looking. It won't do me any good. It's not like I'm going to get a free meal at this point.
Got your food, Baldy.
Maybe you see me. I was on the Tonight Show about 5 minutes ago.
Speaking of the Tonight Show, Scott was in the audience. You know, everybody got a big round of applause.
Yeah.
You know, John came in. Everybody started applauding.
Right.
And they saw Grillo and, you know, and that whole group. Scott's sitting there. Nobody knows who he is.
He holds up his cigarette.
He takes out a pack of cigarettes.
No.
You look, I'm smoking.
No. You got it all wrong.
What did you do, man? No one noticed?
We all walked in together.
I'm here. I'm Scott.
Here I am. And you can spot him a mile away because he's the baldest guy in the room.
Right. The light is bouncing off that head.
We all walked in and some guy yells, "Do you have a cigarette?"
Oh, right.
You didn't hear that.
We were sitting across the room. All I saw was Scott waving a pack of cigarettes.
My fan recognized me, and I had to respond in some way. Here's a Scott the Engineer Man. He will appreciate the subtle, physical pop humor of the pack of cigarettes. Yeah. I would have lit a match, but there was no smoking inside. I would have carried it to the nth degree. I would have puffed in tribute to Jay. While others were giving Jay a standing ovation, I would have smoked a cigarette.
A smoke salute.
I would have done a triple smoke ring. 21 puffs. I know the source of my humor. It's smoke.
What are you going to do if I ever stop smoking?
You won't. We know you're weak. Don't worry about it.
We have no fear.
The only time you're going to stop smoking is when you're in the box, 6 feet on the ground. I'm going to bury you with it. Yeah, we'll bury him with a cigarette in his mouth.
Under the eternal cigarette, like Kennedy.
We'll have it lit. Yeah. While we were away, other weird things happened, too. You know Richard, who's our intern?
Yeah.
He yawned. Did you hear about this?
No.
He yawned, and his jaw wouldn't close. It was locked. He got locked, and then took him to the hospital. Hey,
While
Richard.
we were gone?
Yeah. Hey, Richard, come in here. Scott, you can stay. We might want to goof on you some more.
Of course.
Please do.
Fire away.
I'm always on the ready.
We haven't done you in a while.
I know.
More smoke humor, please.
Isn't that a great goof, though? Don't let the waitress bring his food.
Yeah.
Hey, dude. Yeah, I never saw you yawn before, man. I've never checked that out.
I'm not going on now.
Are you afraid to yawn? Are you have a phobia about yawning now?
Not really a phobia, but I get still kind of like stiff there, you know?
Dude, what happened exactly? Where were you?
I was over at my friend's house having a couple drinks.
Boring night, huh?
No, it actually had been a long night. It was, it was about 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, maybe you should get some sleep once in a while.
I guess that's why I yawned.
Yeah.
So I just yawned, and all of a sudden, I heard like a pop noise.
Yeah.
And it felt like it was stuck for a second. I tried to close it, and I couldn't.
Like, how wide was your mouth? Like
all the way.
Wow.
Really?
I couldn't even talk.
Widest?
As far open as it could go.
And you would go, hey, I'm trying to... You would be like...
You were
trying to close it up and you couldn't?
Yeah, and I couldn't talk either. So I'm sitting there.
Are there any pictures?
No. They might have... No.
Nobody
How funny.
got a video camera?
You know, that's like the Joker or something.
Yeah.
You know, imagine they couldn't get his jaw closed and he had to like have special makeup. He'd be like an angry super criminal.
It was terrible.
I'll get you, Batman.
Well, because, you know, the guys that I was with, my friend Wayne, he's like, just close your mouth, just shut it, just
right.
push it. I was like, can't close it. He thought I was like,
and you couldn't like move it into place?
I couldn't. It was stiff. It was like rock hard.
What do you think people used to do in the olden days when stuff like that happened? Like with the rest of their life, they walk around with their mouth open?
Yeah, probably.
You know, when they're like cavemen and stuff?
Yeah.
I was ready to freak out, so I wanted to go into the emergency room.
So it's like you walked in with your mouth open?
I had to. I was drooling.
Really?
Yeah, because
and you walked in, and like, did your friends go with you?
Yeah, he took me there.
And they said, "Hey, this dude's mouth won't close." Were they laughing at you? Were they goofing on you?
Yeah, the people in the emergency room, they
any homosexuals get horny around you?
Hey, as long as you're open.
Open for business.
Open all night.
It was scary though, because I thought.
So when you go in, did they make you sit and wait?
Yeah.
How long?
Geez, I was there. I got there probably about 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. I didn't get out till it's like 2 o'clock the next afternoon. I had to wait like.
Can you imagine that they weren't that concerned that his mouth was that open?
Well, there was still breathing.
People, you can imagine what other cases are there, that the guy with his mouth totally wide open?
Yeah, there was people there that, this one guy got shot, and the guy had a finger cut off and stuff.
You can see yourself just moving down the list.
Yeah, every time another gunshot victim comes in, you go, I never got out of here. I never got out of here.
And so
what were you talking like? Were you like, oh, no, hey.
I can't call it. I can't call it. It was like that. It was horrible.
I never heard of this happening.
Me neither.
This is called lockjaw.
It really isn't lockjaw. It isn't lockjaw.
It's locked open jaw.
Open. It was both sides were dislocated. They said it happens sometimes when people yawn and it becomes subluxated, I think.
Yeah, subluxation.
Right. And then but they said it was unusual because both sides were actually dislocated. Yeah, they said usually one side. But they said in my case, both sides.
You're double jointed.
Does booze have anything to do with it, Richard?
I don't know, because I thought it was weird, because the doctor asked me, she said, "You've been drinking?" I said, "Yes."
Oh, you probably reeked.
She didn't ask me how many drinks, she said, "How many six-packs?"
Right, yeah. I think that when you're drinking, things like that occur because you can no longer feel what is appropriate.
Oh.
So all of a sudden you just get too far gone and things pop out of place. It happens a lot to people when they're drinking.
That's kind of what you're saying.
Well, probably you also reek because when your mouth stays open that much, like a dog, you just get bad breath.
Yeah, because I'm sucking in air and I'm drooling.
So what'd you do with the drool? Like, were you like
Did you
tilting your head back?
Yeah, I had like ice on it. My friend told me to try and put ice on it, see if it shrinks it or something. And
you dumb friends, Marcus Welby.
Well, they were ready just to pop it right back into place.
Right.
That's all they're going to do.
Yeah, your buddy's going to just break your whole jaw.
Break your jaw.
Well, that's what they did at the hospital. They said, have you been drinking so much that you don't feel anything at all? And I said, no, I can feel things.
Did it hurt?
It wasn't that painful. It wasn't like it hurt to be open.
How long did it take them to pop it back in?
Well, it took them. Then they put me in the back and they laid me down, did a bunch of tests, and took some X-rays.
And then what did they do?
They finally came back and they like gave me a little IV and put me out.
Yeah.
And just popped it right back in.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why didn't you just have a cigarette?
I couldn't smoke. I couldn't close my mouth.
So they had to put you out for it, huh?
Yeah. It was weird.
How long did it take?
I was in there for like 14 hours.
Yeah. How long did it take?
12 hours. I was in there.
Oh, you mean they admitted you and everything?
Well, from the time I went in to the time I left, because then when I came to, I was completely out of it. They had to keep coming and checking on me. Because they gave me one, and it didn't
put me down. And they just pushed your jaw closed?
Guess so. Because she asked me, she said, have you been drinking so much that you don't feel...
Well, they probably had to manipulate it a little bit to get it back in the right place, and then they slammed it.
She said, have you been drinking so much that you wouldn't feel any pain if we just popped it right back in? I said, no.
Were you smoking any doobage?
No. I just been drinking.
Wow.
I couldn't drink more. I couldn't I couldn't put anything in my mouth.
So the party sucked. You had to stop drinking.
Well, yeah, my friend just got done mixing up a fresh batch of strawberry daiquiris. It was terrible.
Oh, you're too much.
I had to sit there and look at him. So he had a couple more daiquiris and said, I think we better take you to the hospital.
Oh, so he had a few more drinks and then take you to the hospital.
Yeah, well, we waited to see what would happen.
Why should the drinks? You should have brought the drinks to the hospital. Drinks.
You had the perfect holder.
Everything starts with alcohol.
Yep.
Yeah. So it was weird. It was the weirdest thing that ever happened to me.
Wow. So now you're like all freaked out because it could happen again.
Now it's really sore. I got to go back for some tests.
But once you do slip out like that, it is possible for it to happen again.
Yeah.
It becomes easier.
Yeah. Well, that was the first thing they asked if it had ever happened before.
Yeah.
They said,
Maybe you ought to lay off drinking for a while. Rather take your chances, I guess.
Well, I'll see what happens.
Right. Why stop drinking?
Yeah, ask him to do something simple.
Anyway, so that's only a few of the great stories that happened.
That's a good one.
That is a good one. All right, Scott the engineer getting goofed on, Richard with his jaw locked open, and we'll take a break and be back right after these words.
You're listening to the Howard Stern Show.
But there is no bigger loser on the planet than Scott the engineer.
Understand.
He's just got a black cloud over him.
And he claims to know how to play.
It's not that he doesn't know how to play. He just has the worst luck. I'll give you an example.
You got to tell this.
The whole same thing as last time, right?
Right.
Same exact.
Like, remember the last time, like, Scott wouldn't get any good hands, and then finally he gets, like, a full boat.
Right.
And then, of course, I'm in there with him. He's got a full boat. He knows he's going to win, and we're betting and betting.
Does he get that look on his
And he
face
gets
like he's got a...
yeah, you know he has a good hand, but meanwhile, I'm sitting there with a boat myself. And we turn over the cards, and the look on Scott's face is, I take all the money. You know,
See, you got to put a camera on.
I know.
We really should. Just one
We really
time.
should. We really should.
A hidden camera, just so
Howard, you tell the story about what happened.
Well, finally, after the whole game, Scott's lost, almost every hand. So
and Scott is, and Scott's down.
I was holding my own.
Yeah,
I mean,
you were holding your own. Oh, that's right. His wife's listening. He was holding his own.
No one even wants Scott to sit next to him because he's like, loser.
You're afraid it's going to rub off?
He's a Jonas.
So finally, at the end, so we all throw in I guess
All right. So at the end, we decide. If you listen to him, you'll go.
I know. This is John's radio show.
So at the end of the night, yeah, right. So Dominic says, "Okay, it's the end of the night. Everybody put in, what was it, 50?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or $50 a person, and we'll just deal out 7 cards. Whoever has the best hand wins."
No taking cards, nothing.
No. All right.
No skill at all involved.
Right. The reason I asked John to get involved in this, I'm trying to remember the hands. So Dominic starts to deal, and Scott's pulling a hand like you never saw. What did he have?
Scott had a boat.
A boat.
No,
okay.
not that hand. I had trip sevens.
Oh, he had trip 7s. Trip 7.
Now, all the cards turned up?
Yeah, all turned up. It's just, if everybody throws in $50, whoever wins. It's like, it's a stupid thing. All right? It's dumb. Because there's no skill involved.
Total lottery.
Right. It's a lottery. So we have a lottery at the end of the night. Put in $50. Scott pulls a 7. Pulls another 7. Trip 7. Listen, out of 7 cards, that's pretty damn good. He's on a roll.
Yeah.
So what happened?
Wayne had 2 pairs.
Wayne Siegel had 2 pairs.
We're coming down to the last card. He pulls a boat. Wins.
Okay. So, and this is on the last card.
Last card.
Because everyone said, "Oh, Scott won."
Yeah, because Scott's sitting there. All these
and the hands,
for the final
hands are shaking. Because now it's about 7 guys. 7 times 50 is what, Robin?
Oh God.
$350. Okay.
Yeah.
So boom, he's like, wow, that'll put him way up. All right. So then Dominic says, "All right, everybody put in what? 20? All right, $20.
This is the best.
So still, that's a pretty good size, $140 or whatever it is. Okay. So start dealing the cards. Now, what happened?
So Scotty had like a boat.
No. He had Scott. It's a much better story than that.
I had trips again.
You had
trip 8.
He had like trip 8.
Wayne had trip 5.
Wayne had trip 5.
I'm beating.
So Scott's going to win the money. Everyone's kind of secretly happy because Scott's such a loser.
You got to have him.
And he's such a sad sack after he loses. So then Dominic deals the last card. What does Scott pull? He pulls another. No, you pull the boat. He pulls a boat.
Okay.
He pulls a boat. Now he has a full house, and all Wayne has is trip what? 5s?
5.
All right, trip 5. So Scott starts to collect the money, and I said Dominic starts to just deal out the rest of the cards. Wayne pulls a 5. 4 5s.
I swear to God. They set me up.
4 5s.
Oh my goodness.
They set me up. They had to set me
4
up.
5s. And Scott's like.
It's amazing because we all wanted him to win.
Everyone wanted him to win.
because his hand is almost in the pot or something, and then he's got to take it out.
I had the money already in the bank.
You're kidding.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he was already spending it.
Yeah.
buy my wife some flowers and chocolates.
Some cigarettes.
But always, but always at the game, Scott's always complaining the whole game.
Right.
I don't ever get winning hand.
And then, like, Scott will get up for a couple of hands because he just dropped a couple of $100.
He's got to cool off.
And he's the only one losing this kind of money. So he get, like, every you see him go into the wallet, pull out another $100. So he has to cool off. He gets up. He
Does
gets up.
he go out and count up?
Yeah. So he goes off in the corner to count like a squirrel. Yeah. So he's sitting there eating and stuff.
My fingers.
And he'll get out of the chair, and, like, someone else will sit down in the chair for a few minutes and start winning like crazy. The second he gets out of the chair.
Just him.
It's just him.
It doesn't even matter what chair you sit
and
in.
And then Scott, the rest of the night, will be like, I shouldn't have left that chair.
Wait a minute. Do you ever change chairs?
Yeah, Scott changed chairs. We lost there, too.
Yeah, it doesn't matter where he goes. He thinks it's the chair.
Cloud follows.
The cloud gets up out of the table with him. Sometimes you see Scott running around the room. You go, Scott, what are you exercising? He goes, no, I'm just trying to get rid of the cloud off my head. If I could just dodge it.
That's right.
I love when Scott plays because you know, as bad as you'll do, he'll do worse.
I didn't do that bad overall. I mean,
You're always saying
I didn't do that bad overall.
I swear, honey. I did win some hands.
Yeah, but Howard, you know, he dropped 7.
Scott, what do you got on your hand? A giant wart or something?
Where?
What is that? A knuckle or what is that mark on your hand?
It's just I scraped my knuckle.
The Hale Bob Comet.
I was trying to kill myself.
Punch my wife.
Did you know that the Hale Bob Comet, the guy's name is Hale? I saw the guy on TV the other night.
Oh, really? There's a guy who's alive?
Yeah. He's a big fat guy. He looks like Scott. He does.
There's a guy named Hale and Bob.
Yeah, it was Hale Bob Comet. Yeah, I didn't know that. And the Hale guy looks like a real sad sack.
And what does he just look at the stars
Because
all
he's
day?
like, I says, I wish, it's sort of too bad that this whole thing happened with this cult group because.
No, it's not. Everybody knows your name.
Yeah, I know. No one even knew about the Hale Bob Comet. Hale Bob Comet.
Hale Bob.
Hale Bop-a-loo Bop.
Wine magnet.
Yeah, so Scott left a loser again.
Of course.
I know Scott gets mad when I'm winning.
Coming to the game?
Scott gets mad.
I'm done.
He likes to play.
That was it.
Scott gets mad when I win because he thinks he's a better card player than me.
No. I don't think you're better than me.
What?
No, he does. That's right. You don't think.
Yeah, I hope not. Because I win and you lose.
Right. You guys set me up.
Yeah.
Oh, they're all card
You did
shows.
real well, right, Howard?
What?
You did real well that
Yeah, I won a couple $100 and then...
you had a stack in front of you.
Oh, yeah, I had a big wad.
Money goes to money.
Yeah. Every time I win, everyone yells out, money goes to money.
Well, why don't you just bring all your money, Scott?
Right. Why don't you just hand me...
Money will come to you.
I do.
Why don't you... Yeah, maybe the money will be a magnet.
Bring the deed to your house.
Imagine we take...
Honey, sit down. I have something important to tell
Honey,
you.
pack everything, honey. I lost my house to Howard in the card game.
I have some good news and some bad news.
What's the good news?
I lost the house.
Well, what's the bad news?
I lost the house.
Oh, that would be so funny if Scott had to pay rent to you.
I know. Well, Scott, I'll let you live here like a sharecropper.
Tell Scotty Jr. to get some cardboard.
Money goes to
And
money.
every couple of weeks you let him play for his house.
Yeah, money goes
For the rent.
Yeah.
Money goes to money, but the house goes to house.
I'll lose it a room at a time. Honey, the kitchen is off limits today. Howard owns it.
You know what's so funny, Howard? It must sound like such a bit, and it just isn't a bit.
It isn't. It isn't a bit.
The first night I was there.
His face.
I've never seen anything like it.
So funny.
And as he loses, everyone laughs and stares at him. And he never cracks a smile, and he just and he'll nod his head like that and look over at anyone who looks sympathetic.
But he's such a loser. It's not like he gets
Right.
rotten cards. He gets
Yeah.
great cards and loses.
Yeah, and he's betting, and then when he know he has a good hand because he's finally betting, and he's betting into everyone, and any wise person would go out because Scott finally has a good hand, but you stay in because you know he'll lose.
Yeah, right. And then
In one deck.
And he does.
In one deck, Wayne pulls 4 5s against
right.
In one deck.
Yeah.
I stand there and I go, I can't believe this.
And that's how and that's his delivery.
Unbelievable.
And that's his delivery. It's like, I can't believe this. And I can't believe this.
This must be so much fun.
Oh, it is. And everyone ignores him.
He starts complaining.
And then once in a while, I'll feel bad. I'll look over and he'll give me puppy dog eyes. Like,
Yeah, you want to slip him
Like
a
I
few
don't
bucks.
know what's happening.
You want to lend him a few.
Just throw a couple hands.
And they take your money anyway, don't they?
Oh, yeah. They definitely dig in and take it. They're not afraid to do that.
No. He takes such a beating every game. You know, and I'm sure the other guys lost, but you don't notice. It's always Scott you notice.
Scott, you notice.
You know, I play cards with other guys, and this does not happen.
You know what, Howard?
It doesn't. Scott starts
But
complaining.
you're a winner there, I guess.
Well,
Scott starts complaining after the second hand.
I know.
2 hands, and he's like,
you know, seriously, John's right. You know, your attitude stinks. It's like your second hand. This is the second hand.
No.
Oh, boy, I never win. Oh, no.
And it's like, you know,
He's like locked up.
and then he does this thing where he goes,
I never get good cards. Never get good cards.
It's like wimpy.
yeah.
I never get good cards.
Well, bluff or something.
I do bluff.
Yeah, finally he had like...
How can I bluff?
No one,
one's going to lose.
Yeah. No one will go out.
No one goes out.
He could have 4 or 5 showing on board in like a game of 7-card stud, and we'll all stay in because we know he'll lose.
Somebody will pull 4 6s or something. Plus, he's sitting there and he can't smoke, so it's double torture for him.
Right.
That's why he can't concentrate.
Yeah.
That's why his luck is off.
My cigarettes are my good luck charm.
When he's smoking, he's winning.
Yeah. Smoking. I think he's got the cigarettes in his buttocks and he's smoking them. I can't believe he sits there without smoking.
Do you worry now when you hear all the stuff, all the attacks on smoking?
It's starting to get to me.
Yeah.
You know, all
He'll
the
never quit.
cases they're losing.
You know, I'm watching TV last night, and they got some woman dying of cancer, and now she's suing from the grave.
She's dead, yes.
Yeah. And what is her right to sue? I mean, she seems like she's not that old.
And, you know, what she said...
She knew that cigarettes were bad for her.
What she said was her feet didn't hit the floor in the morning before she got a cigarette. Now, whose fault was that?
So then they had a relative of hers on. They go, we're going to make these cigarette companies pay. This poor naive woman didn't know what... Yeah, she didn't, you know... I mean, come on, naive. Come on.
Give me a break. Where was she? Was her head in the sand?
Yeah. I mean, Scott, you clearly know that cigarettes cause cancer, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I know Scott's going to get it.
No,
I can't believe he hasn't quit by now.
I know. He's
I
so
can't believe he
addicted.
doesn't have it already.
Yeah, I can't believe he doesn't have cancer.
He closes his eyes when you have this conversation.
I was talking, I know, and that's the look he has during cards. It's the same look.
You know what the funniest part of this? I'm sitting out there listening, and I'm realizing that if Scott's family ever wants to sue, they can't because we have tapes of Scott saying 1,000,000 times he knows.
It doesn't matter. He could still sue.
It doesn't matter, right?
It doesn't matter. And in today's court of law, these kangaroo courts,
Yes.
they give everybody a settlement.
You're stupider than the cigarette company.
Right.
No matter what.
You're a victim.
Right.
You know, it's so funny. And now they want to...
It's like the warning's right there on the side of the pack, and they're saying that the cigarette companies lied to us.
And then some guy I saw, he wrote on the internet the other night. He goes, "How come Howard defends the cigarette companies? He must have he must have money. He must own
money.
He must own a cigarette company or something." And I'm going, "No,
He has a ton of money.
I don't own any cigarettes. I don't own any. It's just common sense. It's like I can't stand in this country now that we've all become victims. We all blame Big Brother. We blame everybody. That somebody should be looking out for us.
Fault. Yeah.
Everything is someone else's fault.
If you slip on the ice, it's the person who owns the house or business in front of the block where the ice is.
Yeah, like that guy could chip through that ice.
If you drink, it's the bartender's fault.
Right. That's the one that I cannot believe that one really flies.
Right.
You go in and get drunk, and then you get in a car and drive.
Now it's got so crazy that you can't get into a car when you're drunk. But you are not responsible. You know, you're supposed to know not to drive, but you're not responsible for not having sex.
Yeah. Well, here's what happens. So all these lawyers have these drunk driving cases, and they get really pissed off because most of the drunk drivers are broke.
Yeah.
And they have no one they can sue. They can't sue the car. They're trying to figure out how to sue the car manufacturer, but they can't. For some reason, they're not letting that one fly.
You got to get the bar owner or the car manufacturer.
So then they go, well, who can we sue with any money? We got to get the bar owner. Now everyone knew this was ridiculous.
But it isn't the bar.
But all the other lawyers, wait a second. All the bar can get sued and the bartender.
And the bartender, yes.
So now you go, well, wait, so that's not going to fly. So all of a sudden, the other lawyers who are now politicians, they pass a bill to go along with this. So now these guys can sue and get some money.
Yeah.
It's all about making money off of other people's stupidity.
But it's like you're responsible, to know not to drive a car, but you're not responsible to know not to have sex.
Yeah.
Because now all these court cases are that people who are drunk aren't responsible for saying, not saying no when they get raped after they've gotten drunk.
They should sue the bar owner.
Yeah. I don't know what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're responsible when you're drinking, and sometimes you're not.
Should sue the alcohol companies too. I'm surprised they haven't started doing that yet. Like why the drunk drivers haven't sued the alcohol companies?
They must have some protection.
Right.
I didn't know.
Somebody said nothing to me.
Yeah. It doesn't say when you go to the bar you can get drunk.
I got the door open.
I just like the taste.
But have you heard? I mean, they're saying now that if a woman is drunk, she's not she can't give consent
Right.
for sex.
Right.
True.
That's right.
I thought I beat Fred to it. That's all. I didn't.
That's right.
So if you have sex with a drunken woman,
You're at fault.
raping her.
Right, right.
No, you're not.
No way.
No way. I grabbed her hair and nodded her head yes.
Yeah.
A six-pack is consent.
Yeah. Hey, if she's laying there and you jump on top of her, she doesn't move.
She smells like Johnny Walker. Yours for the taking.
Very early.
How long? You'd have a life sentence right now if every go you.
He's a serial rapist.
Right. You have any women you raped, Martin?
I'd be the warden's pet.
Yeah. That's why I stay home. I don't go anywhere.
My rule is to be drunker than them. I am not.
Yeah, what about the guy claiming rape?
No, he's
Can't do that.
He's always
Never.
responsible.
Right. Oh, man, Scott, you're such a loser.
Can I sue you guys for taking my money?
Yeah.
He didn't know he should.
I didn't know I was going to lose all my money.
You're going to get cancer, man. I think about you a lot. I think about how we're going to have to go to the hospital and visit you because you are our engineer, and everyone will say, hey, did you go visit Scott? He was your engineer. You always
Should
told him.
we sue?
Yeah.
I think we should do his whole funeral now.
Yeah.
You know, while he's alive.
Take responsibility.
We did that already.
Yeah, you know what we haven't done?
It's been done.
It was depressing.
We haven't bet.
On when he'll
when
die?
would we be?
We should all take a year.
When's the last time we had his lungs tested?
I'm sad to say, I
Couple
don't think
years
he's,
now.
I don't think he's got that long.
How long do you think he's
I
got?
think he's got 5 years.
You know what? I agree.
You know, I'm telling you.
I'm not going to bet
he
against
can
him.
last longer than that.
How old are you now, Scott?
5-year plan.
44. 44? Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I thought you would have been dead by 44. I swear.
I figured.
You're in 45.
Are you 45? You're lying about your age now?
What is
I forgot.
that?
We should have
I
Scott's
figured-
50th birthday party now.
Yeah.
We gotta get there.
Yeah.
No, he'll make 60.
I think he'll be sick by 50, but then he'll cling on.
He'll
for 5
linger.
years
Yeah,
with all
he'll
sorts
make
of wacky
60.
stuff going on.
All right, I say he's dead by 50.
Nah.
I say, Scott, you're looking at a guy with a 5-year life. And you know what? If he quit smoking today, still would only live for 5 more years. Yeah, 51. He'd add 1 year.
There you go. A couple of years of his family lighting the cigarettes in his neck.
Yeah. Because I even see, like, you still get that you get that brown lip thing still going, where he holds his cigarette and his lip is all torn away.
Have you seen those new commercials?
No.
Where they have the woman with the hole in her neck smoking?
Yeah. Well, that's going to be Scott.
She's my hero.
I don't blame her. At least she's not a hypocrite. Why should you quit just because you got a blowhole?
Ooh, that is such an ugly commercial.
Can you think about Scott without thinking of him sitting in the old studio doing that? What is it called? A curl, where he blows the smoke out, but it goes back
in his nose.
He's in heaven.
Imagine
a heroin addict. Like,
Yeah. It's his only pleasure.
It's a piece.
You know what? I think Scott's going to sue the cigarette companies if they cease production of cigarettes. I'm miserable.
Cut me off.
No. Well, I just heard that there's
You
some
bastards.
ball player who can't play because he's kicking a chewing tobacco.
Yeah, Pete Harnish. He's freaking
My
out
hero.
because he stopped chewing
I'm
tobacco.
up on this.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at what he knows.
And he hasn't.
What'd you say?
Jumps in.
Right.
Oh yeah, Pete.
Oh, wait, I know. I have a cigarette. I have a tobacco story.
Because I have him.
Came to life.
I have him on my prodigy team.
Yeah, go ahead. So he's chewing tobacco. And,
Somebody showed him a movie of somebody that got cancer from chewing tobacco.
right.
Their mouth was all.
Well, at least he's a normal person and reacted.
He's smart enough.
So he
to
stopped about 2 weeks ago
Right.
chewing tobacco, and ever since he can't sleep.
Oh, geez.
He's having anxiety.
That is retarded.
He's freaked out.
Oh.
He can't play. He can't.
Tell him. You know what? Tell him to just mellow out. He can't play and he can't pitch.
That's what the paper said.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Well, you know what? Then he should chew tobacco.
Really?
Yeah. You know, if he's that much of a baby, let me get a hold of him.
How many years can he play ball? He's wasting it.
Yeah. Put tobacco in his ass and get over to the ballpark. Put tobacco in his ass and walk. That's like chewing.
But didn't they have to bring in some guy with like 2 hours notice the other day because this guy fell apart?
Yeah, on Sunday they had to pitch somebody else,
Someday.
He knows the whole
and they had to
story.
see a doctor because he hadn't slept in 2 weeks.
Anything tobacco related, I cut out of the paper and hang on my wall.
Have you ever seen
I
him
know
so
it all.
lively?
He's my favorite ball player because he has the same addiction I do.
His ball playing is affected. My card playing is affected. We have a symbiotic relationship.
Look.
Scott doesn't know who's president, but he knows who's going through chewing tobacco withdrawal.
Do you ever?
FDR was my favorite president.
Why is that?
Crippled, but he smoked.
Why not?
Do you ever go home at night and go, oh, my God, I have to quit smoking?
I say that all the time.
You do. And what happens? And you just can't.
He forgets in the morning.
What do you eat? I see something to satisfy your oral gratification while you, your oral drive. Chewing gum? He has something in that mouth every minute.
No, I'm trying to, cut out a lot of...
Hey, Howard.
Right.
Remember when you used to chew those, licorice sticks instead of smoking?
Did you suck your thumb as a kid?
No.
Why doesn't he just chew the cigarette?
Look at that big brown stain on his lip.
Let's not chew in the back.
Do you see it? Look at the other side of his mouth. See it? There's a big line on the bottom lip.
Yeah, over here?
Yeah. Look at John touching
My
it.
smoking callus.
I just feel bad for Scotty because I don't know
That's
what
a smoking callus, you're right. Because what happens is probably the cigarette rips his lip each time in the cold weather.
You guys act like I'm the only person that smokes.
No, you smoke so much. And it's so hideous to watch.
I smoke a lot less than I should.
And you're so uncool while you're smoking. You know how some people do look cool?
Yeah, but it doesn't make him look cool.
No, it doesn't make it
so uncool.
Don't start on me, Gorilla.
Right.
Don't start on me.
What is a gorilla?
Well, I just he has no willpower. He starts these diets with special instead of he has a bagel and cream cheese every morning. Okay, doesn't make a difference. At least have some willpower.
Yeah.
So he'll start this Special K thing, and the thing is, he loses weight like that, and then, you see results on him. Wow, Scott, you can tell on your face.
But look at Scott. He's bald.
Come on, I gave up a long time.
John knows, John, and then all of a sudden it's a week later it's a bagel and cream cheese.
Just a bagel and cream cheese, please. What happened to Special K?
Forget about it.
Yeah, forget about it.
Hey, back to the crap.
Why does he need to lose weight?
He's trying to die, Howard.
He does. And every once in a while.
Just buy him a shovel.
You know what I think he goes on the diet and stuff? Every once in a while, Scott will get back pain.
Yeah.
And he realizes, and he doesn't fit in his pants.
He has back pain?
Oh yeah. And for a while he was convinced it was
From bending over the cigarette machine.
He was convinced it was his wallet in his back pocket, he was sitting on it wrong, and then he thought it was fat, so he lost some weight, and then his back still hurts. Yeah, right.
It's why even try?
You know what? Just don't name any of us pallbearers.
At least he got rid of the snap-on hair. You know what I mean?
But I think that should go with him when he goes.
Snaps. Put together a bar.
Hey, don't I look good now?
Like Cressy.
Snap on, snap off.
Let's go out, honey.
Let's go out on the town. My hair.
Gonna pack a smoke?
I'm ready.
Snap on hair.
My hair is ready.
Metal detector.
I bet you if I was playing with my hair, I could win a cause.
I used to keep my cigarettes under my hair. My little stash.
When I hear those two snaps, the wind doesn't scare me.
How many did you smoke today already?
Be honest, we'll check the ashtray.
Oh.
No, I don't know. About
I don't know.
6 already?
6.
Do you remember the
ashtrays they used to bring in?
It's 6:30 in the morning.
You've been up since 3 in the morning?
Yeah.
Huh. So let's see, that's what, 2 an hour?
He's lying.
Well,
If he's been up at 3, he's done more than 6.
Right.
Yeah, we just smoke in the car on the way here.
You do about 4 an hour.
No, I do. I used to do that. I do less than that.
I'm up to 8.
I do about 2 an hour now.
Two an hour. And he chews a pack of gum.
I smoke 2 an hour. And gum. I've got gum. He's got something going in that mouth every minute.
Always.
Cream cheese. Cream cheese, bagels, gum, cigarettes. His car has 6 ashtrays. The only guy I know he has an option on his car for 6 ashtrays. No way.
He had the CD player taken out.
Yeah.
No.
I don't need a CD player. He just pulls out the CD player and just throws the cigarettes right in there.
What is this? Like a lineup?
What is it, Gary?
Everybody comes on the phone again. You know the guy that the guy that tests Scott's lungs.
Yeah.
Here's one to come down again.
When's the last time he's done it?
It's got to be about 3 years ago.
Oh, whoa.
I think Scott was 115 at the time.
Wow. What's that guy's name? Jan?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jan.
Good morning.
Hey, you want to come down and test Scott again?
Sure.
Wow.
I'd be more than happy to. Anything for the show, you know.
How old were his lungs?
Well, they were 115, but the best part of the test.
115. He has the lungs of a 115-year-old man.
I don't think
you
we've
already
ever
know what the results are going to be.
I don't think we've ever done this test for E, Howard.
Yeah.
And the funniest part of the test is Scott has to blow as hard as he can for 15 seconds, and it usually looks like he's about to pass out.
Yeah.
He was like Jackie after a half-hour basketball.
Yeah, it's insane. You test your lung capacity.
Yeah. I'd be more than happy to come down.
Hey, Jan, remember? You said those were the oldest lungs you ever saw. 115. He has the lungs of a mummy.
They're probably petrified.
Hey, Jan, can I ask you a question? How old would the lungs have to be, you think, till the guy's going to go out?
Howard, I've seen them. I've seen some guys, but these are like 70 and 80-year-old guys with, the lung age of 150, 170.
So so Scott has has the lung capacity of guys you've tested in their 70s.
Yeah. On some of them.
Right.
Wow.
Do you see those pictures when you were in junior high school, and they would show you that disgusting movie where they pulled out the guy's lungs who'd been smoking for 70 years, and they were like black and all shriveled up and stuff?
Yeah.
Gary, I've got years ago, the drug companies, the lung drug companies, gave out ashtrays with a normal lung and an emphysema lung.
Oh, that's fun.
Got any more of those?
Good, I'll take one of those. Let's make me smoke more.
Give me one emphysema
My
lung, please.
That is my goal.
All right, so when are you going to come down? When do you want to have Jan down?
We'll get him in. Put him on hold.
All right, hold on, Jan.
Thanks a lot.
We'll see you in a few days.
Right.
All right. Or maybe
Scott
sooner.
will go into training.
I might be dead by then.
And Scott gets all upset. He goes, now Scott, this is how it goes off the air.
I'm not doing it.
Why is that, Scott?
Already in here, he was shaking his head.
Yeah. And he goes,
I'm not doing it because it upsets my wife.
His smoking doesn't upset her. Knowing how
the lung
old his
test.
lungs is.
Yeah, the lung test does that.
And I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't participate.
We don't even want to hear that.
Why bother when you know the result?
Yeah, exactly. Because you know it's going to be bad. I just want to know how old your lungs are, that's all. So it'll help us in our betting. Because then we'll bet.
Then we'll bet?
We'll bet on when he's going to die.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to miss him. Because look at this. We just killed 40 minutes.
And the lungs of Tutankhamun.
How can you say you're going to miss him? In 10 years, we haven't remembered to include him.
Right, yeah, that would be the first time you ever missed him.
He'll be dead in like 6 months later.
I guarantee you then we'll miss him. You think we'll even notice when he dies?
No.
I don't think so.
I doubt it.
Oh, we missed the funeral.
All right. Scott, why don't we take a break? Right. And you need a break. You need to smoke. You haven't smoked in 40 minutes.
What was that number again? Bag 5040?
Oh, that's right. What is your
But
number?
hire a DJ before I die. So
What, you have a disco business.
718 bag 5040.
718 bag 5040 for Scott the Engineer's disco business.
And he can't smoke during his tour, right?
There's a lot of
It's
parties
in my
that
contract.
That's right.
That's the best. Hire Scott just to make him not smoke.
Yeah. Actually, it's fun to watch him smoke during. If for people who don't mind to smoke, it's fun to watch Scott light up because at parties where he's allowed to smoke.
Oh, he's much happier.
It's
I'm on fire.
It's a smoke machine.
I invented a new dance called the Smoke Arena.
Well, I imagine that he stays with the party a lot more and the music's a lot more lively.
Yeah, because otherwise he disappears every 5 minutes. But you know, it's
one
like
of those long records.
it has sometimes have like a fog machine to make it look like it's a rock concert.
Right.
Scott is his own fog machine.
Beautiful.
All right. Hey, should we play Brown Fingers into commercial?
Yeah.
Scott's song? In case you never saw it on E, there's also an accompanying video.
Oh, great video.
Great video. Oh, do you have to run and get it? All right, forget it. Okay. No.
You left out, Scott.
You left out. We're not going to play Brown Fingers.
Thanks, Fred.
No, he likes that.
Oh, you like Brown Fingers?
Yeah, it's good.
It only took you, twisting his arm to get him to sing it.
Right.
Rockstar.
I don't want to sing it.
I think I sing very good.
Gary, can you bring Brown Fingers, or is Fred got to be the only one who knows where it is?
There's another battle.
Yeah, here's another thing going on. Then he gets up, and he's going to go. I mean, the time it takes him to run out there.
The song would be over.
It's the computer age.
Yeah.
Back.
Because Jackie knows if he was in charge of sound effects, everything would be computerized and done.
And catalog.
Fred is a genius, and he knows how to do it.
Fred will not just spend the time and organize himself.
He can't.
He can't.
Doesn't know how.
Doesn't know how to organize
This
himself.
is his organization right there.
Yeah, he has to get up and run for every sound effect.
Everything you ask for. I have to go get it.
Yeah.
You'd have a gun where you load each bullet and then put the powder in.
Right,
A
yeah.
musket.
You gotta earn it. Right. You never go to the new
He'd
fangled.
have the little bag of powder.
Right.
Bite the end off.
All right. Here comes Fred with Brown Fingers. I love the system. We got 87 interns out there. No one can get it. All right, thanks. I'll play this into commercial.
Hi, my name is Scott Salem. Even my last name, Salem, is a cigarette.
Matt, remember I had to do the beginning part because he couldn't do an impression of himself?
Yeah.
He doesn't sound like himself. he doesn't.
Now that's
Don't sound like me. I have a cousin named Paul. Last name Mall. Maybe you've heard of him.
I tell you, I wish there was a way that I could smoke while I sleep. I can't get enough of that sweet nicotine. The cigarette I find is my only friend. I wish I knew how to smoke with my rear end.
My name is Scott Salem and I'm so serene when my lungs are filled up with smoke and nicotine. Cigarettes are my entire life. I'm never happy till I've got a buck to ignite. I've got brown fingers and lungs so filled with crud. Brown fingers, my mucus looks like mud.
I'm as dull as a clam. I'm a loser's loser.
Doesn't matter if it's cold or hot. You could probably save a road with all the tar in my snot. I've got no will to live and not much self-control. If I got throat cancer, I'd be smoking through my blowhole. I've got brown fingers. My lungs are filled with crud. Brown fingers. My mucus, it looks like mud.
Sitting here with a razor blade, chopping up tape, missing all my hair, like my head's been raped.
I've got brown fingers. My lungs are filled with crud. Brown fingers. My mucus looks like mud.
Can't believe it.
I've got good reason, smoke, it's pretty clear. I'm as dumb as a wall and I've got no career. Got a big hairy butt, but there's no hair on my head. I buy 2 cars at a time, cause you have to think ahead. I've got brown fingers. My lungs are filled with crud.
I've got
brown fingers. My mucus, it looks like mud.
I got
brown fingers.
I say, yeah. How come I smoke so much? Yeah. I get hard on everything I touch.
Brown fingers.
Look at me.
Brown fingers.
I got a chrome head.
Brown fingers.
I'll be dead in 2 years.
Smoke them if you got them.
Brown fingers.
What a performance.
Yeah.
That's
Hey, you know what?
great.
Scott smiles during the whole thing because he loves his singing on it.
Yeah.
He's in love with it.
He did a great job.
Yeah.
We saw how he was drumming in his heyday.
He had a rock band.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, that's his big story.
And he was the drummer.
Yeah. And Cousin Brucey played his record.
The Rolling Smokers.
Where's that record?
Do we ever play that on the air?
We never played it. I don't know if you can because it was from...
What, WABC? Yeah, sure you can.
All right, fine.
You got it? Of course you can play it.
Gary had it once. I don't know what happened to it. I don't have
Gary, you got that?
Scott's music?
Yeah, it's funny.
Cousin get a set of drums in here.
What happened was, I guess...
14 years
what was
old.
it? We know you were a prodigy.
Yeah.
I was 14 years old.
He was the original Silverchair.
Yeah. You got it? All right, I'll take a break. You guys look it up. We'll be back right
I
after
didn't know
this.
Scott had music.
Oh, yeah, this is fun. And Scott's all proud of it. You got to hear this. I've heard it.
He told me he was a great drummer.
All right, let's hear.
All right, we'll be back right after this.
We'll be back with the Howard Stern Show. Don't go away. Like Fort Worth. Listening to the Howard Stern Show.
Something kind of, that's a good one.
It's a good song. I like this. Thank you. I get caught up in it. So,
Do we have Scott That's music.
Yeah. All right, so Cousin Bruce, this is like from 100 years ago. If Scott's 45, this is when Scott was 14 years old, all right? So how many years is that, Jackie?
1967.
Yeah.
Wow.
77, 87, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
30 years ago. So Cousin Brucey is on the air talking about, doing that rap about how, there's a lot of bad kids out there, but you never hear about the good ones.
The good ones.
Yeah.
Scott was one of the good ones?
this was?
Yeah, Scott was one of the good kids.
Can I set this up?
Yeah, I'll set it up because you're so boring. This was like some big contest that two local bands, they were vying for two different recording contracts. So idiots like Scott thought that they were going to get a recording contract. Do you know who actually won?
I have no idea.
Golden Earring.
Yeah, right. They went on and became big and popular.
So, this is a thing that radio stations used to do. Like, you could win I used to even do it when I was in Detroit. You could win a recording contract.
Everybody would enter these stupid contests.
Nobody ever wins. And you know what? It's always boring.
And nobody ever becomes anything because of them.
Yeah, and it's always boring listening to the local bands.
Yeah.
Unless you know the guys. But what's funny about it is Scott's the drummer, and he also is the lead singer.
Well, let me just tell you about that. We had a lead.
There's a whole history to my band.
We had a lead singer. And we got the call at the last minute because some other band didn't show up.
Mm-hmm.
And the lead singer absolutely refused to go with us.
Oh, you did this live?
We did it live. It was live to tape.
Oh, so this is like the Pete Best story. The lead singer refused to go down to WABC and do it?
That's right.
Why? Because you didn't have enough notice?
He just was embarrassed.
He didn't want to be with you.
Right.
Now, you had hair at this point, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I had long hair.
Scott with hair?
Yeah.
He was a hot-looking guy.
Yeah. So we decided we're going to...
A smoky Matt Dillon. Were you smoking at this point?
No.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about it.
Were you or weren't you?
Barely. I had.
Yeah, of course he had.
I've been introduced to the allure of nicotine.
He was born with a cigarette in his
planning
mouth.
my life.
I was contemplating taking up the habit. So
I think he had a cigarette at birth.
Well, you must look real cool with your long hair and you're a drummer and you had your cigarettes.
I was happening.
Yeah. I bet.
So cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So we decided, all right, we'll do an instrumental because nobody really sang. We weren't rehearsed with anybody else. So we go down there and they go, you got 3 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
We go, the instrumental was 5 and nobody knew how to cut it down to 3. So
you did a song.
We did another song.
Scott, am I going to hear your whole life story?
No, we did another song.
Jesus Christ. Who cares?
I don't know. We did another song, and they decided I was
before you went down there, what'd you have for breakfast?
I don't know.
All right, because we're all fascinated.
They decided I was.
How did you get there?
Yeah. Did you guys go?
Now that's another story I can tell you. We got there.
No offense, nobody cares.
I know.
All right.
We were going to do an instrumental. You see, Cousin Brucey.
I just wasn't supposed to sing. That's the
right. The lead singer absolutely refused to go.
So anyway, on the tapes, one of the people from the band has to introduce the song.
Yes.
So it's Scott. And what's funny is Scott at 14 sounds exactly like Scott at 45.
How did he get elected to announce the song? Was everybody else more boring than you?
No, I was the only one with a mic because I was the only one singing.
Oh, I see. All right. So anyway, you'll hear Cousin Brucey and then Scott the engineer with his band at 14.
Can't wait.
Yeah. world debut. I think Cousin Brucey's rap about
good
kids, bad kids is great because.
Oh, we ought to lift this off and use it.
Yeah, it's really kind of funny. Here it is. And you got all that echo and you're like. Right.
Cousins.
Actually, Scott and Cousin Brucey had a lot in common because they're both bald guys. Except Cousin Brucey wears a wig.
Yeah.
Just thrill meeting him.
Yeah. How was his wig up close?
It was beautiful.
Did you actually meet with Cousin Brucey?
Yeah, he was in the studio with us.
I'm personally taking an interest in it. Imagine Cousin Brucey has no time. He's sitting there with a bunch of kids watching them record their 3-minute bit. I mean, seriously, you think you just have like the engineer do it?
And it was on like a Saturday, you know.
And he would just show up.
He was just hanging out in the studio.
Yeah. Hey.
He likes the kids because the kids don't know he's wearing a wig.
Yeah, you're the only one.
He had no idea.
Hey, Brucey, nice hair.
Hey, you making fun of my wig?
No, I meant you really do have nice hair. I had no idea.
What wig?
What wig? What's a wig?
Little did I know a few years later I'd look the same as him.
Right. You should only look so good.
Yeah, right.
You wish.
You wish you looked like this. All right, here we go.
Oh, my God. Too often have I heard, that teenagers are delinquencies, dropouts, and things like this. What about the 98% of good kids, huh? Well, that's what I sort of found this thing for. They're competing for fame and national recording contracts. Listen carefully, because somebody...
Cousin Brucey making like he invented this so good kids could get a forum. And you're playing up to the kids. You know, you only hear about kids being bad. What about the
98%?
What about the 98%? What 98%? There are no good kids. What are you talking about?
That's like 2%.
Angry bald guy.
So out of touch.
Yeah, has to suck up to 16-year-olds. Hey, what about all the kids that are good kids? Yeah, right, Cousin Brucey. Jerk.
No, can be starting on the road to Starland in the next few moments. Tonight from Whitestone, New York, the Daybreak. Name of the group. In the group, Mike Margulies, 16 years old.
You never know what Cousin Brucey's even talking about.
I don't know what he's saying.
I think the name of the band is The Daybreak.
That's correct.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you got to listen real close.
What a terrible announcer he was.
Retired high school in guitar. Les Katz, who's happily celebrating his birthday today. 14 years old, Bayside High School in guitar. Warren Cerota, 14, Bronx High School of Science at Pine School on guitar. And Scott Sinham, 14 years old, Bayside High School on drums. Now making their bid for one of two recording contracts from ABC Records or one from 20th Century Fox Recording Company. And now, here's their big break.
Hi, we're the Daybreak from Whitestone. We like to do Louie Go Home, originally done by Paul Revere and the Raiders.
That's Scott.
You know how many times it took me to say that?
Louie the Hump.
So nervous.
Louie the Hump. What the hell is that?
Louie Go Home was the name of the song.
Oh, I think you said Louie the Hump.
No, Louie Go Home.
Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Did you think he said Louie the Hump?
I had no idea. By who?
Wait a second.
Who's it by?
Wait a second, I can rewind.
Paul Revere and the Raiders.
Did you ever hear that song?
No.
Louie Go Home. Louie Go Home. My hair went down.
Yeah, Louie the Hump. I thought he said Louie the Hump. I go, wow, what a cool song. I never heard of Louie the Hump. Louie the Hump. Oh, Louie Go Home.
Katz, who's happily celebrating his birthday today. 14 years old, Bayside High School in guitar. Warren Cerota, 14, Bronx High School of Science at Pine School.
Fine school. A fine school. Cousin Brucey hears science and he forgets it's a good school. Yeah, Bronx School of Science. Probably raping the teachers up there.
Scott Sinham, 14 years old, Bayside High School on drums.
Who appears to be losing his hair.
While making their bid for one of two recording contracts from ABC Records or one from 20th Century Fox Recording Company. And now, here's their big break.
Hi, we're the Daybreak from Whitestone. We like to do Louie Go Home, originally done by Paul Revere and the Raiders.
Boy, do you have a New York accent.
Wow.
But also, he's still a sad sack.
Yeah, sad sack.
Oh, yeah.
It sounds like he's trying to be a little cool.
I don't know.
Some kind of accent.
I don't think Scott ever tries to be cool.
I was so nervous.
Really. Louie the Hump.
By Paul Revere and the Raiders.
So now they think you're listening to Paul Revere and the Raiders. That's Scott strumming. And singing, wait. That's good. How come I don't know this song?
You know why? Because Scott picked it.
It's an obscure Paul Revere and the Raiders
It's
song.
on their greatest hits album.
Yeah, but come on. Please. Just because it's on here.
It's the only song we knew.
The only... So bad. Better than my band.
Wait a minute.
Uh-oh. Might take that back.
That's the song. I didn't write it.
How can he sing two great trumpets?
His song doesn't even show my talent.
Well, he had to sing at the same time.
Right. I never did that before either.
Wow.
Hard.
You must have gotten all the chicks.
Couldn't overdose. Is the record stock out?
I don't know. I guess that's all we have.
No,
That's it?
Yeah.
That's it?
What do you mean that's
You don't have
it?
the dance.
Wait, what happened to the rest of it?
I don't know. That's it.
We had the whole thing.
Do we?
We had it.
I don't hear it,
Well,
man.
maybe they didn't put it on tape. They got tired, Scott. They fell asleep.
So Scott was probably in charge of putting it on tape. Because look, the tape's still rolling, but there's nothing.
Somebody got merciful and
Somebody erased it.
As we heard all over America. Too often have I heard, you know.
Oh, there it is again.
Somebody erased it.
Delinquency,
No.
dropouts, and things like that.
They didn't edit the
What
tape
about the
right.
They didn't edit the tape right. Look.
Start over.
Well, I'm not sitting
took
to
you out. Took out your intro.
No, somebody
didn't edit the tape.
Somebody screwed up.
Oh.
Hey, Gary, what's going on? There's like bad takes on here. Who's editing these tapes? Scott's interns?
No, Sandy's editing them.
Yeah, well,
she's assembling them.
But there's false starts here.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I mean, I went to the...
Listen, I already have gone through 2 starts. I mean, come on.
I have no way of knowing that, Howard.
I know. You have no way of knowing anything. Does anybody ever check anyone's work? Does anybody ever check anybody's work around here?
Yes, we do, and we found other things that have been corrected, and that was just one of them that hasn't been fixed yet.
Yeah, but the one time we're going to play Scott's stupid song, good backup system. No one checks anything around here. That's true. You know it.
It's not true. Scott just told you that we did.
No, Scott is lying.
We do check.
Scott is lying.
No, I'm not lying.
The only thing that's the truth is Scott is bald.
Accidentally, every once in a while,
yeah,
finds.
right. He does not check anybody's work. Neither do you.
I don't. No, I'm not the one.
I know. And Gary never does.
Howard, she's been doing this for ages.
You or Kathy either check the work. That's what I want. Once a week, I want a report on my desk.
Okay.
That you've checked the work.
No problem.
Okay, got it?
Mm-hmm.
All right. See if you can handle that.
I can handle it.
All right. Well, I guess I could rejoice that we had some of it. I mean, we were able to find it on the tape.
Really funny at the end.
That's progress.
Is he funny at the end?
Yeah, he's hysterical.
All right. I got to sit through this again? Which is the real start and which is... Well, let me fast forward.
Yeah, because we went through this already.
Yeah. No offense, Scott.
I don't
Louis home already.
Yeah. He's gone.
Jesus.
Oh, we're still going?
That's probably the whole song now. I think this might be the end.
This is the end? All right, good.
Yeah, this is the end.
Big finish. Wait.
That's not it.
There you have it, everybody. Another big break. To remind you, those kids, the average age of that group was 14, and that's fantastic. That's something? Congratulations, fellas. Now making their bid, everybody. Yeah, for those 2 recording contracts, and 2 from ABC Paramount.
They faded it?
Yeah.
Faded it.
Oh, boy. All right, what can you do?
All right. Well, anyway, thank you, Scott, the engineer. That wasn't bad, actually. That's a pretty good band for...
Thank you.
I'm surprised they didn't get the contract.
Yeah.
Really? We were shocked.
Louis. Who was competing against them?
Yeah.
Led Zeppelin.
You know Scott, he always loses.
That's right.
Even when he has a good hand.
A loser again. There you go.
His band was decent, he still didn't get the recording contract. All right, I got to take a break. Scott, congratulations to you. What the hell? What did I just do with it? It wasn't even so bad. I mean, here's the backstory on this. One of Scott, I don't know, likes some of the interns. Like, Scott has his own intern.
Yeah.
But this kid, Carrie, is that his name, Carrie? Yeah, Carrie is like one of the interns who does stuff sometimes that Scott gets angry with. Like, you don't like Carrie or something.
No,
like, Scott doesn't like some of the interns because he feels...
I'll tell you one thing, Scott never yells at a woman.
No. You're an angry
I've
guy.
never yelled at any intern. Except for this one.
But wait a second, you just admitted to me before you yelled at this guy.
No, except for this one, I said.
Why are you yelling at him?
Well, he did something about a month ago that I wasn't really happy with. And
what was that?
I was recording something in the studio, and he said he walked in and he couldn't hear what he had to do, and the volume was too loud, so he brought the fader down.
Yeah, so...
Now, when you bring a fader down, you stop what's going through to be recorded. So he screwed up what I was doing. And I yelled at him. And after I yelled at him, I apologized. I said, you shouldn't... You know, I really ripped into him, too. I mean, I'll admit it. But I apologized after, and I said, you shouldn't touch things you don't know what they are. You screwed up what I was doing.
God only knows what he was doing.
Whatever I was doing, I was recording something. Obviously, it was for the show, and I was recording something.
So, Carrie, you got mad at Scott, and you did a little 60-second roast of Scott, right?
Yeah, and it really had nothing to do with the fight that we had like a month and a half ago, really.
Oh, yeah, right.
It had nothing to do with it. It was about respect from the beginning, and he has a lack of respect, so...
Yeah, just because you're an intern doesn't mean that you don't know anything.
That's right. Yeah,
He doesn't know
I'm here to help out.
He's
here
an
to help
intern.
out and
Exactly.
contribute to the show.
He doesn't know anything.
He's trying to help for free.
I understand that, but he is an intern, and he doesn't know anything. He thinks he knows something, but
I was hoping that you would teach me something, and you never taught me anything.
You know what's funny about
all you do is yell.
Everyone picks on you, but when you try to find the one person you can pick on, instead of mentoring him...
I didn't pick on him. I never picked
Well, anyway,
on him.
Carrie got upset, and he roasted Scott. Here's a
I
little...
don't understand how they got to this point, even. This is...
I don't understand. I mean, I've never yelled at him except for that one time when he...
Scott's overly involved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just having fun.
Scott's angry, too, because he's got, like, no union left. It's him and Steve the engineer. Steve hasn't been here for 6 months. And he's on the phone every day to his union rep. I guess the contract's coming up. He's got no one to talk to.
He was yelling at me about that earlier.
He was?
Today. Yeah, about his union. And how I can't touch anything back there because his union says I can't.
You want to know something?
Wow.
You can touch anything you want.
Dance
Groovy.
on the equipment.
Yeah, the union's pretty well gone.
Thanks, Howard.
Sorry, Scott.
Hey,
What?
What can I do?
Yeah, I mean, if he went on, his union went on strike now, it would be a strike of one.
It would be Scott.
Yeah, that's it.
The union's pretty well busted up.
Yeah.
Scott's the only one left.
No, but we still have an agreement to some things. I mean, it's still
whatever.
a written
To yell at
agreement.
interns.
Yeah. Well, I think take that written agreement and do what you have to do.
Go down with it.
Why don't you go bring it to Mel, see how that goes over.
He knows what it says. Believe me.
So, Carrie put this. Carrie roasted Scott. Here you go.
Hey, Howard, you want a roast? I'll give you a pig roast. Take Scott, shove an apple in his mouth, and light him up like a Merit 100. The stupid freak. He yells at his interns all the time. That thing he calls a beard flaps around like an epileptic squirrel, and he barks like a seal. I feel like I'm watching freaking Animal Planet. That beard is just a hairpiece gone wrong. Hey, the freaking contest where you glue pubes to your face was over a week ago. I think I'll write a show. When toupees attack. You want to host it, Walrus Boy? Or maybe I can call you Ska Screwy, because the screw that once held your head together has long been stripped. Speaking of heads, you're so freaking bald. What, did your hair fly south for the winter? I went to the eye doctor the other day, and he said I lost 5% more vision since I've been interning here. 5% vision loss. It's probably from the glare from your freaking sweaty, bald head. Man, I'm so freaking sick of you. Step into the ring. I don't need $250,000 to knock you out.
Wow. So Scott,
let me ask you one question.
Sure.
You say you know what you're doing engineering-wise?
Mm-hmm.
What does that tape sound like? Crap.
Yeah, that tape sounds like crap because you won't let me touch the board. If I could touch the board, I could produce something halfway decent.
I never said I wouldn't let you touch the board.
Yeah.
All I know is Scott the engineer saw Carrie in the hall today and wailed on him.
No. You get that wrong.
Go ahead, tell me your side of it.
Get that wrong. I wasn't upset about the tape.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Okay.
So I was in the studio and he walked in and I started teasing him like, "You're done here," and he went F off.
Yeah.
And then you lost it?
And then I never lost it.
Actually, he said, your life is effed right now. And I got it on this tape here.
And so he was angry, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was pretty angry.
No.
Just go do your little thing.
This is Scott out in the hall. The E-camera got in there.
You're a intern. That's right, pal.
Yeah, really. And you're a 50-year-old and you're acting like you're in 6th grade.
Okay?
Look, recess is over.
What is your problem? What is your problem?
What is your problem?
Do you understand what's going on here? You have no clue what's going on here. So before you open your mouth, why don't you find out some facts?
I have no clue because you're not telling me.
Why don't you find out some
I like that now. I like that Scott's now involved with the interns fighting with them. It's so great.
Some facts before you open your mouth.
What are the facts that you're talking about? Huh?
What are the facts I'm talking about?
Yeah, really. Like let's have an open communication here instead of just you, you.
I never said you. You just told me to go off.
Yeah, well, you told me to you before.
I never said you.
Yeah, okay, well, I never said off.
You just said off to me.
No, I didn't. Just right now.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I can lie just like you did.
When did I lie?
This is what's going on in the hall.
Oh, my goodness. No wonder you can't get anything done.
No.
About what? You don't remember, like, 20 seconds ago, you just told me to go f*** off?
Yeah, I remember that.
Okay.
Do you remember telling me to f*** off?
Never told you to f*** off.
Yeah, okay.
When did I tell you that?
Back there when we were in the console. Before.
Today?
No. About a month ago, dude.
When you screwed up what I was doing on the console?
Yeah, because it was on full blast when I was sitting there trying to watch the TiVo.
You come and get me, and you tell me you got a problem.
And you said you were going to put headphones in there. No worries. You know, you're such a messing up my crap and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to get you some headphones, and then you sit there and shut up and don't touch the board. Well, I haven't seen the headphones.
It goes on all morning.
It sounds like a daytime soap opera.
Yeah, it does. You should cut this tape up and enter the contest.
Absolutely.
You two maniacs.
Recess is over.
What happened? You didn't lose it, huh?
I wasn't mad. I told you. I wasn't mad.
I was waiting for him to lose it.
I wasn't going to lose it. I was trying to get him.
You knew the camera was on him.
No, I actually called the camera over. I wasn't mad. I was just trying to get
you
him going.
You were under control.
You were just trying to get on the show.
I was totally under control.
All right.
Yeah, I've never been on the show.
Good Lord,
what kind of comment is that?
I can't believe you two.
I'm trying to get on the show.
You remember telling me to F off? No. You just said it.
I like that the intern is like razzing Scott.
Yes.
The interns now are in on it.
Yeah. Fun, isn't it?
How do you manage this guy?
I don't.
Well, you should, as an intern, you should respect the fact that Scott has worked in the industry. I mean.
Yeah, definitely. And I definitely respect that. It's just that, you know, every morning he just cops an attitude, and he has no respect for other people, especially interns. And I understand, you know, we're at the bottom of the barrel, but, you know, hey, just...
Little common
courtesy.
You're absolutely wrong.
Exactly,
I mean, you can call up any of my interns over the last 15 years, and you can ask them. You're the only one I've ever had a problem with.
Well, that's wonderful. I'm glad that I could oblige.
All right. Thank you, guys. Okay. I just wanted to know what's going on with Scott and the interns. Thank you, Carrie. Thank you,
What's
Scott.
going on back there?
We're having some fun back there.
That's our medical marijuana intern, right? You're legally blind, right? Dude?
Yeah, legally blind.
Hey, you walk around pretty good for a guy legally blind.
Yeah.
You don't even have big, thick glasses.
No, actually, I wear these because I have a nystagmus and try to keep my eyes in one direction.
Yeah.
I figure sighted people have rights as well, so.
And Scott's busy yelling at you. Beating up the blind intern. The guy probably turned down the board because he didn't know what's going on.
He started a fight with the blind intern, and I think the blind intern is winning.
I think there's a point in the tape where Scott calls the blind intern a blind F.
No.
Is it there?
You'll hear it. I never said that.
Wait, let me hear.
That was passed on. Those headphones don't plug in them. I'm not in charge of this place, okay? That's number one.
Yeah.
Okay? Number two,
don't sit there
if you really want to know what's going on, read my union contract that says interns are not permitted to touch any technical equipment, if you really want to know what's going on, okay? Before you open your mouth, why don't you find out what's going on? Now you know why I have an attitude, okay?
Well, if interns aren't supposed to touch the board,
right.
What is Tanya doing down there?
That she's not allowed either. Technically, by my contract, she is not allowed.
Well,
okay?
Technically, I'm just here to help out, dude.
That's right.
That's all it's
and
about.
You listen to what I say.
I'm
because you're here to help out.
I'm here to help out.
I understand that.
Right?
Okay?
Okay, and I sit
around. And when you don't know what's going on, you
even ask Ronnie if you
when you don't know what's going on, you come to me and you talk to me.
Yeah?
And you ask me what's going on. You don't just jump in on something that you don't know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Whatever.
You're pissed off at me because I'm busy over there?
No.
You just said it.
Has nothing to do with that, dude. It was all about just saying, hey, Ronnie, come on. I mean, Scott, whatever the hell your name is.
Ass is what you called me before.
Yeah,
that's
asshole,
you can call me ass.
Good.
You can call me ass from now on.
All right.
That's my name.
Okay. You can call me blind. That works.
I never said that.
Well, you can say it now. Whatever. I don't give a crap.
I never insulted you. I did yell at you for touching equipment that you shouldn't have been touching.
And I was yelling back at you because it was like, hey, you know, you had it on full blast. I was sitting here trying to watch
Right,
the
and you should come to me and say, Scott, what's going on? I need to know. I need to work on something.
It's going on way too long.
That's what I'm saying. It's like a soap opera. It never ends.
That's our internship program. Very professional.
The best.
Yeah. All right, you two. Go fight in the hall.
Cool.
There they are. Scott, the engineer, and Carrie, the intern. Carrie, the blind intern. You got to go teach the interns more.
Believe me, I teach them a lot.
All right, thank you, Scott.
Go back there and
This
you
is how you
and
light a
Terry work
cigarette.
together.
Yeah, would you
Can
like
we all
to
just get along?
smoke the peace pipe? All right, thank you, Scott.
You're welcome.
All right. Poor Scott. What's going on back there? He's fighting with the interns. Comes to work to fight with interns. He's going to lose it one day.
Screaming at this kid about his contract. I can't believe that one.
Read my contract.
Scott the engineer.
I told you not to use the goddamn tape. Scott, did I say don't use the tape? Get out of my way. I told you. Get out of my way. I would have never let you come if I knew you were going to use the tape. No f***ing way, Ganji. Now stay out of my face. Scott, I told you. Get out of my face. Get the camera out of here. Scott, you... Out of here! No! Scott, come on!
Turn it off.
Get out!